My name is Brendan Hong. I am the General Manager of Rugby Participation with the Hong Kong Rugby Union.
I'm Stuart Gunn. I'm the Community Inclusive Participation Manager.
The Hong Kong Rugby Union Community Foundation was established in March 2013. We use the foundation as a vehicle to help us consolidate all our charitable activities. The union hopes to use the foundation to become a leader in the region for sports for development and change. We use rugby as a tool to tackle social challenges and activities within the community.
And we've developed now 5 key areas. So we work on disability, health, social inclusion, crime prevention and education. The pillar of disability, we've worked with Jockey Club Sarah Rose School now for several years. I think we started back in 2014 or 15. And we are providing rugby sessions for their students. And again, we saw the benefits of them taking part in a sport like rugby, where they gain more confidence, learn to interact with each other and use teamwork and these kind of things to solve problems. From there, we've now got 9 special needs schools that we work with. They're designated by the Education Bureau as SEN schools, special educational needs. And every year now up at Kings Park in March, we have a competition where the special schools will play against each other after taking part in the training program. We also have, with a connection with Andy Barrow, he's one of the Laureus ambassadors. He came across 2 years ago during the Hong Kong Sevens, and we've started a wheelchair rugby program. So we initially got in contact with the Hong Kong Federation for Handicapped Youth, and we're now in touch with Elaine Field School, which is a school specifically for handicapped students, and we're going to look at including rugby into their PE curriculum.
So the union and also the foundation is very, very excited that we will be one of the first sports to be included by the Leisure Cultural Services Special Needs Education programs, and that is going to allow us to have major access into the special needs schools, and hopefully we can promote our sport to all the new pupils within those schools.
In 2009 we started with Chun Tok School. And we also got in touch with the Lutheran School for the Deaf, and we would have an annual competition between those 2 schools. From there, Winnie was one of the first participants to go ahead and join a local rugby club, so she plays for Kowloon now in the Premiership, and she's sort of an idol for the generation of deaf players coming through. Earlier this year, we got entered into the World Deaf Sevens competition in Sydney. It was the first of its kind for Sevens, and they also played a 15s game that was World 15s versus Barbarians 15s. From that, we now have 11 players playing in the local domestic leagues, and we're looking at next year, as it's our 10th year anniversary for the Deaf Rugby program. We're going to invite Ghana and Japan, as well as New Zealand Touch Deaf team to come across to Hong Kong, and we're going to play in the International Touch competition. And we'll also have joint training sessions, and we'll have a Deaf Rugby Sevens competition here in Hong Kong.
So for the youth crime prevention pillar, the union worked closely with the police crime prevention unit that we've developed a program called the Don't Drop the Ball program, where we use rugby as a tool to educate kids on making positive life influencing choices and decisions. And through their interaction in rugby, we hope to be able to provide them with the experience and the values and skills to be able to make positive decisions. The foundation also worked closely with the police charitable operations breakthrough section. They also use sports as a means to tackle social challenges and also kids with disadvantaged backgrounds. And obviously rugby is one of their main sports, and we work very, very closely with them to introduce kids who actually enjoy the sport of rugby within schools and move on to club rugby. And finally, we've now established a rugby program with the Correctional Services Department, where we send our rugby operation officers to go inside prison to work with inmates, and hopefully to provide them with opportunity to exercise, but also a means to, once they finish their time, they've got opportunity to work within our union and in the sports industry.
With the prison rugby program, we work with 2 prisons at the moment. One is Kit Collinson Correctional Institute in Taiwan, and there's another one called Pick Oak Prison. And as part of those programs, the inmates will also take a touch referee course to hopefully help them, once they've finished their sentences, to find some potential job opportunities as a touch referee here in Hong Kong.
So for the social inclusion pillar, the foundation worked closely with existing NGO groups, the Polo and Cook and also Chicken Soup, to identify youth and also families that are in disadvantaged positions, and we offer them the opportunity to take part in our rugby activities, our programs, and to provide a opportunity to exercise as well as learning life skills through our sport. In 2016 we had our first Paul and Cook graduate in the rugby program who actually represented Hong Kong in a international Asian Rugby Sevens tournament.
So as part of the education pillar of the Community Foundation, we do a program that involves using rugby as a tool to teach English to primary school students. We've developed a program called REAL. It's the Rugby English Active Learning Program. So it's 4 sessions, introductory sessions for primary schools to teach the basics of rugby, and at the same time to teach the students to speak English to native English speakers, and also to be able to read English confidently as well. So with the Community Foundation, it's vital that we get corporate support for a lot of our programs. First of all, to make sure we have financial support to actually run the programs, but then also as well, it gives a good chance for the participants to interact with people outside of their normal social circles. So I recently attended the Laureus Global Summit on Sports for Good, and the main topics they talked about was gender inclusion and inclusivity, specifically around disability. And I was pleased to see that actually the Rugby Union here are quite up to date with the programs that we're running. We're in line with a lot of other NGO groups that are working around the world, and it makes me feel confident in the program that we're heading in the right direction, and the Community Foundation is having a positive impact on the Hong Kong community.